by Jesus on high, where we never will die. It's a land where we'll never grow old. Never grow old, never grow old. In a land where we'll never grow old. Never grow old, never grow old. In a land where we'll never grow old. No, I never married. Once I almost did. I was 27 years old and I was quite a go-getter in those days. You see, I'd been off to teacher's college and felt very definite about my career. Well, anyway, I was sick when I was younger and couldn't have children. It didn't bother me though, seeing as I was so busy with my teaching and my church work and all. Well, anyways, this doctor moves to town. He was from California. He was so handsome. He had this little gap-toothed grin that would just stop your heart. Well, we just fell in love, you know. I told him right off about not being able to have children. I wanted that out in the open, right off. I told him, you know, I was happy with my career, and maybe someday if I changed my mind, I could adopt a couple of kids, and, well, that would suit me just fine. He looked me right in the eyes and said it suited him just fine, too. He wasn't really sure if he wanted kids, and even so, it was me he wanted, and that was enough. We had a couple months of happiness after that. And then, one day, he told me he made a mistake. He really did want kids real bad. I could tell by the way that it tore him up that he really was sorry. Shortly after that, a woman he knew from California moved to town, and they got married. I taught both their kids before I retired. No, I never married. Living alone has always suited me just fine. In that beautiful home where we'll never more roam, we shall be in that sweet by and by. Happy praise to the King, to eternity sing. 'Tis a land where we never shall die.
My husband and I got married back in Virginia, and he wanted to get out west just as soon as he could. He got a job laying track for the first railroad into New Mexico. And when that was done, he got put to work inspecting 20 miles of track. He could do it in a day easy if there wasn't any repair work to be done. Well, I was at home caring for the stock and the kids, and I wanted to do something nice for him. So I set to work piecing a quilt that took me 2 years to finish. I was always running to hide it before he got home, sometimes running when he hit the door, or stashing it in the craziest places. Like one time in the stove. Well, when it was done, I called in Elizabeth, my oldest, to give it to him. She brought it into him and he took it. He studied it. He studied it. And I was just starting to think maybe there was something wrong with it, when he rushed in, wrapped me in that quilt, swept me off my feet, and sashayed me around that kitchen. Both of us laughing to beat the band. He was some man, all right. Well, next spring, I had just wrapped up my work for the day and was piecing up some scraps to cover the baby that was due in the summer. I had just lit the lamp when I heard the sound of horses coming down the road and riding hard. My heart stopped, and I had to reach way down deep to get my breath. I ran out to the porch, and there was 5 men from the railroad, and they were all talking and sweating and then talking over each other's words, and there was this big bushel basket on the ground in front of them. Jim Rice thought that maybe he had fallen and hit his head on the track. Slim Henson thought maybe the heat had got him. But none of them could figure out why he didn't hear that train coming. We never did get a clear reason. But they brought him back to us in that bushel basket. They tell me I didn't cry or say anything at all. I just kind of held myself in a little ball and sat down on that porch and started rocking back and forth. Rocking and staring. Rocking and staring. I don't remember much from that time. Hardly anything at all, in fact. Just what they tell me. I guess I went in that back room and I never came out. And it must have been my mama who come in and set a piecing bag in front of me, a spool of thread, a needle, a pair of scissors. I didn't even know what those things were for. But one morning, my hands reached out. My hands remembered. I grabbed that top piece and I sewed it to the next and sewed that to the next. It didn't matter what it looked like, and I never laid a cutting edge to any of them. But 4 months later, I had a whole quilt, and the baby was born. And my eyes became clear again.